the Nostalgia Film Podcast. Today we are joined by special guest Connor. Connor, tell them a bit about your channel.
Hi guys, my YouTube channel is Flameball24, kind of a partnership with Flame23, like we were talking about yesterday, where I basically just do movie reviews, just like the other guys on the Nostalgia Film Podcast. But yeah, that's mainly about my channel.
Okay.
Cool, and unfortunately James couldn't be here today, but today we're just going to do a simple movie reviewing episode.
Yeah. So let's get on with this.
Alright, so today we will be reviewing The Muppets, AVP2, The Dictator, This Means War, Tintin, Johnny English Reborn, Cars 2, Transformers 3, Paul, Diary of a Wimpy Kid 1, 2, 3, Gullivers Travels, Scott Pilgrim, South Park, Bigger, Longer and Uncut, Alice in Wonderland, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Avatar, Shaun of the Dead, Funny People, Aliens in the Attic, Borat, Horton Hears a Who, Wreck-It Ralph, The Simpsons Movie, Family Guy, Stewie Griffin The Untold Story, Fantastic Four, Harry Potter 5, and The Bourne Legacy.
Okay, so let's just get on with the first movie review, shall we? Okay.
Alright, so Connor, the way it works here is that we just give a short little review and then a score out of 5. So let's start off with The Muppets.
So am I going first with this one?
You can do.
Alright, yeah, The Muppets, I did really enjoy all the TV shows that they did and then all the movies that they did quite a while ago. And then when I heard that this movie was coming out in cinemas, I was pretty happy. So I saw it. It was a bit disappointing, I guess, but it was still a fun family film to watch.
I thought it was great. It didn't disappoint me at all.
I watched
honestly.
this at school. Yeah, I didn't really like it that much because I was never a really big fan of the Muppets, but
Yeah, The Muppets has like a specific audience. Like you've got to really be into that kind of thing. Otherwise, you're just gonna really.
I love to grow up with the Muppets. I always used to have all the.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory in it. Like,
Yeah,
that
was probably one of the best bits of the movie.
Yeah, that is my favourite bit of the movie, and the fact that they have Jack Black in it as well. But...
Yeah,
and the musical numbers, like they're not catchy or anything, but they're just so entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you guys score it out of 5?
Alright, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. It was one of my favourite movies of 2011.
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It's enjoyable. It just didn't really grab me as I'm not a big fan of the Muppets.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. It is a really good family film. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, 3 out of 5.
Alright, Alien vs Predator 2.
Okay, let me start this one off. It's shit. Don't watch it.
It is horrible. It is a pain in my ass.
It is just a terrible film. I mean, I've half fell asleep watching it. It's just so bad. Like, you have, like, aliens and predators, but it's just stupid. 2 really cool races of aliens, but in this really bad movie, so, yeah.
So, yeah, Aliens vs Predator. Aliens vs Predator 2. I really didn't enjoy this movie. When I saw Alien vs Predator, I thought it was alright, but this one was terrible. I thought it was going to be good because they had the xenoforms from Aliens and then the Predators from Predator. And I really enjoyed those movies. I've got them all on Blu-ray, and I thought this was going to be good, but it was really, really disappointing.
Yeah. Oh well, what are we gonna score?
I'm gonna give this movie a craptastic 1.5 stars.
1.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. I honestly hated it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be fair to them. I'm gonna give it a 2 because it was an alright film, but it was just really, really disappointing.
No, it was not all right. How dare you say that?
Anyway, before jumping on, I get into a battle.
You're never coming on the Nostalgia Film Podcast again.
You'll never see me coming. Anyway, let's just move
You'll
on.
never see me coming.
Okay, let's just move
asshole.
on. Okay, let's just move on.
The Dictator.
Love this movie.
Sacha Baron Cohen. Oh my god, he is so good in this movie. It's the only thing really going for it. It's hilarious,
Yeah.
but it's the only thing going for it is that Sacha Baron Cohen's performance.
You've got to watch it. If you haven't seen it already, just click off this video and watch it. It's hilarious. It's a very, very good time.
Yeah, it's so funny.
No, do not click off this video.
I'm joking. No one's actually gonna do it.
How rude.
Okay, anyway, what would you guys rate it out of 5 stars?
I'd probably give it a 3. I only really liked Sacha Baron Cohen's performance, and it was funny at some points.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because I saw this with my dad and we laughed like...
Yeah.
I laughed so hard that I felt like my insides were gonna like burst out of my ears. And I haven't laughed that hard since like one episode of Family Guy. And yeah, Connor saw how I reacted to that episode. I
Yeah.
almost exploded. Anyway.
Alright,
Vagina boob.
Connor, what do you give The Dictator?
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It is a really, really funny film. I laughed so hard it made me cough.
But it's so cliched though.
Yeah, you did know what was gonna happen because you know he was gonna be like a really stupid guy.
And you knew how his personality was gonna change and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just typical him,
It's
isn't it?
predictable. But I enjoyed it. It's a fun movie.
I don't get offended.
How about
or
we
anything,
move on?
so, yeah.
How about we move on to This Means War?
Oh god.
One of the worst movies of last year. I'm gonna give it straight off the bat a 1.5 out of 5.
I'm gonna agree with Joe. 1 out of 5. This piece of crap does not even deserve to be in filmmaking.
But what?
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed this movie.
Oh god.
I thought it was actually an alright movie. It was a fun movie to
Do
watch.
not make me want to come to your house and kill you.
I'll give you his address, Joe, if you want to.
Yes, I would really appreciate that.
Okay.
No, but I thought this movie was good enough to be placed on Blu-ray on my shelf.
You are gonna make me vomit. Shut
You
up.
gave it Jeremy's second highest rating.
Okay, let's just move on before someone gets hurt.
What would you give it out of 5?
Me, I would probably give it a 2.5.
You can't say that you really like it and you buy it on Blu-ray and then give it a 2.5.
No, it's
Yeah.
like I thought it was a fun action film to watch. That's why I got it on Blu-ray. Then it
That
was
was
the
a
best
fun.
action film
Were you-
ever.
Okay.
Were you staring at the Reese Witherspoon's boobs half the time?
No, God.
Gee, that's the only fun thing about it, if you ask me.
Okay, let's just move on.
No, I don't need Reese Witherspoon to look at someone's boobs. I can have like Princess
were you
Leia from
curving
Star
on her?
Wars and
Were
stare
you
at her
curving on
boobs.
her when you were watching this?
Just move on.
Alright,
Yeah, if
anyway.
there was someone to stare at, I would stare at Princess Leia from Star Wars when she was
Ew.
half naked in one of the movies.
Ew.
Okay.
This means war. We all hate you. Tintin.
I like this movie. It's fun.
This is actually a movie that I like.
It's
I love
I'm
actually.
Really, really looking forward to this movie.
it's really fun. It's a fun kind of action adventure animated film, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it is one of the best. It is one of the best animated features. I absolutely adore it. And the 3D is amazing.
I'm gonna give
I
it.
thought this movie was just really, really good. I was so
And-
happy to
And the
find out
score
that
by
it was making a
the
film
score
of...
by The score by John Williams is fantastic.
John Williams did the score in this movie. Awesome.
Yep.
I just watched Jaws 2 last night. Now I'm happy.
That is one of the best scores, like, ever.
Yeah.
This movie is just so good, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go give it 5 out of 5. I actually really, really loved it, to be honest.
I wouldn't go that far, but I would give it a 4.5. I really, really enjoyed it. I guess I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but it really, really surprised me.
And it's really adventurous, and you like, if you're in the mood, you're gonna actually really get. See, when I'm in a really happy mood, I always watch this movie because it's so adventurous and unique.
When I'm in a happy mood, I always watch the South Park Bigger, Longer and Uncut. Wake up at 5:30, just sling that on.
Alright, Connor, what did you think of Tintin?
I thought it was a very good animated film. I would give it a 4. I mean, it's not the best film I've ever seen to give it a 5, but it's a really enjoyable film.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did really like it.
Alright, here's the one that you Brits will know. Johnny English Reborn.
Yeah, this film is awesome.
Yeah, I saw it
it
at
is-
cinemas like the day after it came out. I was so excited for this movie.
It's better than the first one in every way possible.
It is so funny.
It's just like I'm just gonna go straight off the bat and give it a 5. I laughed so hard, even though it's kind of a kids movie. I laughed like so hard in this.
Really? Do you think it's a kids movie?
Yeah, kinda.
Fair enough. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it.
Connor, what are you gonna give it?
I'm gonna give it a 4. I did really enjoy this movie. I was so happy to find out that this came out. Went to the cinema and I did really, really enjoy this movie. It's so funny in every way, basically. It was just a brilliant film.
But I will say it was a bit crude and a bit stupid in times.
Yeah, it was a bit stupid.
Yeah, but stupid funny.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think we might move on to Cars 2, one of the most disappointing Pixar films.
Alright, let me stop
God,
you.
this
I thought it was
movie.
alright. I prefer it to the first one because there's cars shooting each other.
No,
But you think every every movie's
No,
alright?
I don't. No.
Yes, you
Well,
do.
it's not
Wait,
that
let
good.
me just say something. It didn't feel like this movie was gonna go anywhere. It was just so horrible. It was nothing like the first movie. The first movie was actually good because it was.
But the first movie wasn't really good. It just had a good story,
The second
I suppose.
movie,
Like, it wasn't good. It just had
the
a good
second
story.
movie's main character isn't even like the main character. No, you see, Mater, who's the main character in Cars 2. He's a side character in the first one. But I didn't really like the fact that basically Lightning McQueen was his side character pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Got hair clips on my nipples.
What
Ew.
the hell? You sick bastard.
Just thought I'd have a bit of fun during the
You
review.
sick bastard.
Oh my god.
Move on now, move on.
Wait, we need
I
to
know,
score
I'm gonna
this
give
movie.
it a 2.5. I thought it...
I'm
Never mind, you can go.
I'm giving it a 1.5.
Okay.
I would give it a 2 because I did enjoy the first movie, but it was nothing like the second movie. The second movie was just really, it was alright, but it was still pretty bad.
Alright, here's one that I personally wanted to talk about because Josh absolutely loves these films. But, you know, I wanted to pick out the worst of the worst, and this is where Michael Bay really
Shut
has
up.
to stop. You know, someone's just
Shut
got to
up.
say, stop, Michael Bay. You're being a
He's
retard.
you can tell he's already ruined Ninja Turtles, even though it hasn't come out yet. But still, you go on.
Alright. Let me get up a quote from Michael Bay, people. You know what he's come out and said one
Transformers 2
day?
was crap. Yes, we all know.
No. I'm one of the few
Shit
directors.
freeze.
I'm one of the few directors that puts a lot on screen.
Yeah.
That is such a stupid thing to say.
But can we just get on to reviewing the movie, please?
Right, Transformers 3. Now, this is the only good thing about this movie, I thought, was the
You
end
went
credit
there.
song, the Linkin Park end
You went
credit
there.
song.
You went there.
Oh, Joe's in trouble.
I swear to God, if you say that if you met me in real life and said that to my face, you'd be on the floor right now. I love this movie.
I'm giving it a 0
You
out of
are
5.
a dick.
Oh, Joe went there.
I'm giving it a 4. Yeah, I went there.
I couldn't
my
give it.
God.
I couldn't give it a 0 out of 5 on IMDb, so I just gave it a 1.
No, you went there. All right. I'm giving it a 4. Okay. I like the action in it, and I don't mind Michael Bay's humor as much as the second one.
Really, you liked the
I like the
acting.
action.
You liked the
action.
acting. You liked the acting is the worst part
I said the
about it.
action.
Oh, the action.
Josh,
Yeah.
All right.
Josh.
No, I feel embarrassed.
Josh.
The action was appalling as well.
Yeah.
Josh.
The action is so repetitive.
Yeah. Josh, if you thought that Michael Bay's humor was actually alright in this movie, then you surely couldn't have been watching Transformers 3.
I said it was okay. I like this movie. Just stop hating on me.
You're just sticking up for it because you grew up with Transformers. We all know that now, Josh.
So what? So what if I used to watch the last couple of seasons of the show when I was little?
It's probably the only reason why you even like this movie.
Can we just move on?
I
have
actually
proved myself correct.
all the
I feel so
Transformers
smart.
films were just I didn't like really any of the Transformers films.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually enjoyed the first one. Then it just went splat on its face from there.
Yeah, probably the only funny bit in Transformers 3 is when Megatron gets his face ripped in half. I actually laughed because I was like, haha, screw you, bitch. You just got killed.
primed. I like the end fight
just
scene. I
got
like
faked.
the line where like Megatron's like, "Who would you be without me, Prime?" And he's just like, "Time to find out."
Worst, the most stupidest thing that Michael Bay did was in the middle of an action scene. End credit song.
Interrupting sentence and credit song. I think that's how he did what Jeremy said or something like that, but Jeremy quite liked this movie.
And so we are end credit song.
We are Autobots, motherfucker. Interrupting sentence and credit song. I'm not. Okay, let's just move on.
Yeah,
I'll show you.
I want to rate this damn movie.
Yeah, 0 out of 5.
No, I'm gonna be fair with Josh. I'm gonna give it half a star out of 5. No, I'm joking. I'll give it a 1.5 because it was pretty bad, but not as bad as the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, the second one was better than this heap of crap.
I used to think that.
No, I don't think so.
But let's just go on. This review's been like our longest review, so let's just move on.
Anyway, let's go on to Paul.
Paul.
What? Oh, right,
Okay,
yeah.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. This is an awesome movie. They're two of my favourite actors of all time.
Yes, because they're both British and Simon Pegg looks like my dad. No, he actually does. I'll like send you a picture of Simon Pegg compared to my father.
Is your
Compared
dad
to
a
my
pervert?
Fajar. My
Yeah.
Fajar.
And
Is
you
your
have
dad a pedophile?
You are my
Connor,
Fajar.
Connor, and you have a picture of Darth Vader.
Is
No,
your dad a
your dad's
pedophile?
Darth Vader. You have a picture of him go, Connor, I am your father.
I am your father.
Anyway, Paul is amazing. 4.5 out of
Four
5.
and a half
It's
out of
so
five. I'm
funny.
agreeing with Joe straight there because it's very very funny. You've got to watch it. It's better than Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, funny wise, and I
I I did really enjoy this movie because I did see it and then want it on Blu-ray, so I got it on Blu-ray, watched it a few times, and I really enjoyed it from there on. It's a really funny
Like,
film.
I'm gonna be honest and say every time I watch it, it just
yeah,
gets better.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
the humor in this film is just brilliant. I would give this movie a 4. Yeah, I mean it's not the funniest and it's not the best film, but it is a
It's
really
not as funny as
enjoyable
21
film.
Jump Street, but it's still...
Or Ted. But Ted's like one of the funniest movies ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next movie.
Anyway, let's go on to Diary of a Wimpy Kid
Yay,
1.
I like all three of these movies. If you...
Yes, I did. I went up and my nan bought me the 3 first books. I read them from there, loved them, and then as soon as I found out the films were coming out, I was just so happy, and my happiness paid off. They were really funny. They're not
The
the
second one
funniest
was...
films, but I did
The second
really
one was the
enjoy
best.
them. I did.
Yeah, the second one was like the best. But we'll get on to the second one later. We're just talking about the
The first one,
first
they
Diary of a
kind
Wimpy Kid.
of,
The
I
first
suppose, made the humour a bit more crude and rude, I suppose you could say, in the first one. And, but in the next two, they kind of sorted it out, and they want to aim their films more to little kids, but, yeah.
No, I thought this was really, really good. I like, I like all of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. I think it helps if you read the books, though.
Yeah, the books are just
Like you,
the
like
books
you
are
don't,
better
you
than the
don't have to.
films.
Yeah, the books. I think they kind of let the movies kind of let the books down just a little bit, but
Yeah.
it does stay true to the stories and everything and the situations. So I'm gonna give Diary of a Wimpy Kid a
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
We're doing stars.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna give
four
it
and
a
a
4.
half
I'm gonna give it a
out of
4.
5 stars.
The only thing that I didn't really like about when they did all the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies is that they left out the last straw and then went straight on to Dog Days, which was a bit annoying. But
No,
then
they still had the last story in Dog Days.
oh yeah,
There was a lot of they mixed the two.
good point. Yeah, I
Right,
did
let's go on to Diary
this
of a Wimpy
movie.
Kid
Yeah, this is the best
2.
one of the trilogy.
Wait, Connor, what did you give Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
I will give it a 3 out of 5 because I didn't enjoy it as much as the other ones, but I did really
Okay,
enjoy this movie.
2.
Alright, Diary of a Wimpy Kid
It's the best
2.
one out of the trilogy. You've got to admit that. Even if you don't like them, you have got to admit it's the
Yeah.
funniest.
Ow! Ow.
What the heck?
I just got my glasses out of my glasses case, and when I shut the glasses, it shut on my skin.
Oh my god, you're
Okay,
one
anyway.
random person. Anyway, Diary of a Wimpy Kid Rodrick Rules is clearly the best. I'm gonna also give this
I'm gonna
one
give
a
this
four
one
and
a
a half
4 and
out
a
of
half
5.
because it is the best one out of the trilogy, and it just really, really deserves it.
It is surprisingly
They're
really,
guilty
really
pleasures of
funny.
ours, which everybody else seems to hate, but we like.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I do.
Connor?
I really like all of the Wimpy Kid movies. I don't think there is any time where they went wrong with making these movies. I would give the second one a 4 because yes, it was better than the first one, and I did really enjoy this movie.
Okay.
Alright, then
I
let's go
don't
on to
think
Dog
this is as
Days.
good as the second one, but I think it's slightly better than the first one. It's still quite funny.
I'm going to be honest, and I think this one's the
Really?
best.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I wouldn't say that, but I still really enjoyed it. But you know, I'm just gonna.
I'm going to give. I'm also another 4.5 out of 5. I really, really laughed a lot, especially when Rodrick
Oh
did
yeah,
that baby
yeah, in heavy
song.
metal,
Yeah, that
heavy
was
metal
so
babies.
fun.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Baby, baby, baby.
That sounds so
Ah!
wrong, Connor. Anyway, I would give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
I'm gonna stay at 4 because I think all the films are really equal to each other. I don't think there's one that I dislike the most, apart from the first one. But that's just because the first one was the first film they made, and it wasn't as good as the other two because they kind of learned from their mistakes from like all the reviews people gave the films. And then I just thought they made the films so much better, and I just really enjoy all the films.
I hate
Yeah,
how people hate them though.
Yeah, it's just stupid because they're fun family films to
mm,
watch.
But
Even my
they
dad,
probably haven't
I
even
would
read the books or
especially
anything
not the
like
one
that.
that's in
uh,
the purple one because it has like things about like puberty in it as well. So like, I don't think I don't think young
yeah,
kids are
that's
gonna
Yeah.
read
true.
that book.
Yeah, but it's good because like when I'm gonna be honest, like when I was reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I started reading it when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and now that I keep reading it, I like it's actually kind of
Yeah, I get that.
relatable.
Because
Yeah,
you get embarrassed in real life
Like
by like some of your friends and stuff, and you can relate to Greg because that happens to him.
yeah, and he doesn't really like he does care, but he doesn't really worry
No,
about it too
but
much.
he's like a
I
typical
guess
guy.
kind of
He
say.
has girl troubles.
yeah, my even
Yeah.
my
Anyway,
stepdad. Yeah, I don't see why other guys like around our age hate these movies because even my stepdad likes them, and he's like
Yeah.
an adult, isn't he? So
this
and
is a
he's
guilty these
From
films are
our
guilty
experience,
pleasures
we
of
can
mine.
safely say,
And it sucks. It sucks to say that it has to be a
yeah.
guilty
But
pleasure.
just think, we're all teenagers. We still like these movies.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's just
Yep.
move on to the next movie.
Gulliver's
Okay.
Travels. This is one of the worst
Up
films
there with
of all
Jack and
time.
Jill.
Period.
oh,
Yep.
almost definitely up there with freaking Jack
Jack
and
and Jill.
Jill. Don't even
Okay.
mention Jack and Jill.
This should have been called Gulliver's Travels, aka
The
Suicidal.
Suicidal Adventures featuring Jack Black.
No. Gulliver's Travels in brackets. Don't watch. It's really shit.
Gulliver's shit on a wall.
Oh no, Gulliver's
No,
shit.
Gulliver pisses all
Gulliver's
over a building.
Yeah, Gulliver's Travels. He shits himself. Wait, no, I forgot what I was about to say. No, Gulliver's Travels. He grows big, I guess, or he doesn't get any smaller, and then he ends up shitting on this
Okay,
movie. That's why no one will go near
I'm
it
gonna
because
give it
it
a 1
smells so
star.
bad. You can smell the
I'm
shit
giving it a
all
1.
over it.
I'm giving this a 0.
I'm giving it a
Negative
1.
5 out of
I'll agree with Josh. I'd give it a 1.
I'm giving it a
Is that
negative
even
5.
possible?
I do not know, but anyway. Scott
A
Pilgrim
lot of my
versus the
friends don't really like
world.
this movie, and I can kind of see where they're coming from.
Well, I hate the French.
I can kind of see where they're coming from, but I did really like this movie.
I
I
hate
love this movie. The main character, I don't know his name. He has that kind of like half. He's like a she-male, in a way.
He's the
I
guy
do not
from
know.
No, I haven't.
Superbad. Have you seen Superbad?
Oh, right,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
great movie.
Yeah, but
Superbad's awesome. This is
Jonah
Yeah,
Hill
he
is
is.
so funny.
alright. Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
I'm
5
gonna
out of
give
5
it a
stars.
5 out of 5 as
Period.
well. Just that the only thing I didn't like is that I thought it was wait, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. No, never mind.
Wait, while you're
Uh,
thinking, shall
Yeah,
I
okay,
give
sure.
you my reviews on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't love this movie so much. I would give it a 5. I'll give it a 3 because all the
What?
editing and all the CGI they have put into this movie is just amazing.
What's
It's
so wrong about it to give it a 3?
No, just I didn't really enjoy it as much because it's just basically like he's fighting 7 evil exes, and then that's all he's
Don't
just
forget.
fighting during this whole
Don't forget,
movie,
he has to
which I
fight
didn't
Captain
really
America
enjoy.
and someone who dresses up like Harley Quinn. Okay, but
Yeah.
anyway.
That's
Yeah,
quite an
I
accomplishment.
did like this movie, but not. I don't see why you guys would give it a 5 or a 4 because it
Because it's
wasn't the
awesome.
best movie, but I did enjoy it.
Alright, anyway, let's move on to South Park. Bigger, longer,
Yay!
and uncut.
It's
Oh,
hilarious.
I love this movie.
This is so
I love all of the songs.
So
like
funny.
Cat was the biggest, big fat, biggest, the biggest, biggest in the whole wide world. She's made a biggest. Yeah.
I actually, this may seem a bit weird, but I've actually got the CD which has
Yeah,
all the songs
most
from
of them
this
are brilliant
movie.
though, especially the
Guys,
all of them are
guys.
actually really funny songs, which makes the film even better,
yeah.
especially
Yes,
as
Joe. Yes,
animated musical type film.
I said, suck my dick, Mr.
I
Garrison.
think
That's
Eric,
probably one of my
Eric, did you just say
favorite
the F
moments of
word?
the movie.
What? You know he's talking about. You can't say. He's got you. And Kyle, why the Eric? I just love that.
I'm gonna
Me
give
too.
it a 4 out of 5.
I like the bit.
Take
I like the bit at the end where like he's swearing to kill Saddam Hussein. That's just funny. Oh,
Remember
Kenny,
when he's
yeah,
flying up to
goodbye,
heaven?
Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
Little
like
boy,
goes
go
down to hell.
Yeah.
And now let's go, Alice.
Yeah, I gave it.
Wait,
A
have you guys
4.5.
scored this?
Okay.
I'll give it a 4.
Give it a 4.
Alright. Let's go, Alice in
Thought it was
Wonderland,
alright.
2010.
I like that they kill people, and it's not just like a bit like a fairy tale. It's not all happy. It gets into quite dark territory.
I'm gonna be honest. The only thing really, really good about it is Helena Bonham Carter
And it has Johnny Depp
and
in
the
it.
CGI.
The CGI in
You
this
can't
movie
go wrong
is
with
just
Johnny
great.
Depp's in the movie.
But he's not as good as Helena Bonham Carter.
I'm gonna give this a 3.
But Johnny Depp was still really good, but not as
I
good
love
as.
Johnny Depp as an
okay.
actor, one of my favourite actors of all time.
I need to watch
He
Dark
is my
Shadows
favorite
for 2
actor.
reasons. 1, it's got Johnny Depp in it, and 2, it's got Chloe Grace Moretz in it. 2 of my favourite actors of all time. So, if Connor, do you have Dark Shadows on
Ew.
DVD? But anyway.
Yeah, I do
okay.
actually.
Yeah, but anyway,
So do I.
I've got basically all of Johnny
Yeah,
Depp's
but anyway,
movies on DVD.
never seen it.
Do you like Dark Shadows?
Yeah, it was actually a really good film.
What
Let's
we
squeeze
gonna
in a
score
review of Dark
Alice in
Shadows
Wonderland
then.
because I gave it a 3.
I'll give it a 2.5.
I'll give it 3 because I did like because it's like a darker tone to Alice in Wonderland. So
Yeah.
it is quite a dark movie, but I did really enjoy it, so I'd give it 3.
Okay, I
Let's
haven't
squeeze
seen
in
it,
a
but-
review of Dark Shadows. Now, this is considered bad by a lot of critics. But
I don't see how though.
another guilty pleasure of mine now that people don't like it. It just has to be a guilty pleasure. And I hate
I know, it
saying
just sounds
those
so
words,
wrong.
guilty pleasure.
I do like this movie, but I wouldn't say it's a guilty pleasure. Probably one of my guilty pleasures of Johnny Depp is
Edward Scissorhands.
something Scissorhands. I could carry on. Yeah, Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands is one of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah, it's a brilliant, brilliant film.
Have you seen Ed Wood?
I've seen Edward Scissorhands. I haven't seen it, no.
Ed Wood. It's
I
like a
haven't seen
bad movie director. That is a good one. Anyway, what would you score Dark Shadows, Connor?
I would give it a 4 because I did enjoy this movie quite a lot. All the acting in this movie was actually really good. I did.
Okay.
It's just a really enjoyable film.
Okay, I haven't seen
I'm
it.
gonna
so let's
go
move
a
on to
4
next
as well. The next film is Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm gonna be honest, I
the second
enjoyed
one.
the
Didn't even
first
bother
one.
with the third one. But
The first
We're only
one
talking
was
about
good,
the first.
but all
I don't
went
really
tits up
like them
after
anymore. I
that.
liked them when I was little or littler, but
I still like the first one, but I don't like any of the others.
The first one's just really is kind of heartwarming, isn't it?
Yeah, and you feel sorry for them.
Yeah. That's what I liked about this movie. It was a cute family film. Just the other ones, they just wanted to make another Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, but then they just basically ruined the whole trilogy.
And like in this film, like the first one, the Chipmunks are likable, and then in the next two, they're not even.
The only reason I like the
likable
second one
at
more
all.
is because I think I can't remember if it's exactly, but it has a guy called Toby in it. I think it might be Tobuscus off of YouTube. I love Tobuscus.
Yeah.
I think it's him in this movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but yeah, if it is, I'm just gonna be like, it's my favorite movie of all time because Tobuscus is awesome. But anyway, the first one, I would rate it a 3 because
I'd give the first one a 3.5.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
I agree with Joe.
Alright, let's go Avatar.
Too long.
I'm a bit
too.
scared
Okay, fine,
to
I'll do it
actually
for you.
share my opinion
Don't
on
really
this.
like it.
Alright, I'm gonna say the only good thing about it is the 3D and visuals.
And Sam
Period.
Yeah, the
Worthington, who
3D
played Mason in
visuals
Black
is
Ops.
just so.
But the story
Yeah.
is so silly. I'm gonna give it.
You
Yeah,
can
I'm
go,
gonna
Joe.
go 3.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
This film it's all right, but it just carries on for way too long, and it just bores you so much because you're just sitting there like, when is this to end? Because it's basically the same thing throughout the whole movie, which was just boring.
And what sucks
just
is that
think
it's considered one of the best films of all time.
I wouldn't go that far as saying
consider
it's one of the
this.
best films of all time.
Just
no
consider
way.
this. It's
But
like
that's what everybody
almost
says.
as long
What?
or shorter, just slightly shorter than Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, and yeah, exactly. That's
But
what
Return of
I
the
was
King
saying.
was entertaining.
Yeah, it was.
Return of the King felt like
it
2
was
hours,
such
not
a good
3
film.
hours and a half. So
All right, who has seen Titanic here?
I
I
I
thought it was
have.
good,
It's
yeah.
one of my
Like it.
favorite films of all time.
Good.
I
It's
like it.
such
All
a
right, guys, we'll
Okay.
go
heartwarming
back.
movie.
We'll take a break, and we'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Film podcast. Sorry for that short break, which felt like half a second to you guys. But let's go and review Titanic.
Titanic is one of Connor's favorites, but I'm gonna say it was cliche at times, but I
Yep.
still really enjoyed the film.
Not as much as Jack the Giant Slayer, but still
Oh,
quite
Jack the Giant Slayer was torture for me.
yeah. But yeah, I thought Titanic was pretty good. I saw it. I think it was I saw it last year. And I thought it was pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 stars.
Okay, the Titanic. I absolutely adore this movie. It's a really heartwarming movie. I saw this like a few years ago when I was just sitting down. There was nothing on, and I saw Titanic, and I heard really good reviews that it was like a really beautiful movie. I watched it
It
and I absolutely
is.
loved it. It's one
Let's
of
talk
the
about. Yeah, keep going.
it's one of the best movies that I think that I've ever seen.
All right, let's talk about the ending. Spoiler alert. Jack, like she says, I'll never let go. Next
Uh-oh.
minute,
Well,
let's go.
oh well, never mind. He's dead now.
Yeah,
It was
it's a really really sad movie because there's just loads of bodies just lying in the water, and it's just such a sad and heartwarming
Do you know
movie.
what they actually did? They started filming a Titanic 2.
they did make a Titanic too.
I never thought they finished it. Yeah, like Jack comes back to life or something.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that and
Like a Captain
um
America scenario.
yeah, and I've never actually heard anything about that since.
Apparently it was really, really crap though. Barely anybody went to see it.
Everybody would have seen it if it has Leo.
Well, yeah, but
Anyway, what would we give Titanic?
I said I'd give it a
Um,
3.5.
I'd give it a 4.
I would definitely give it a 5. Just a beautiful film.
Yeah, it is a raw pics.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next film.
Alright, let's go on to Shaun of the Dead.
Hell yeah!
Now, it is funny, but it's not as funny as Paul.
No,
4 out of 5.
it is quite gross at one part though, because spoiler alert, the guy with glasses, you know, like the dick, yeah, he's like
Yeah.
standing at a window, zombies just like pull like him apart. I just found that quite gross, but
Yeah, that was a disturbing bit.
yeah, it's like they open up his belly button and pull his insides out. But yeah, I still really
That
enjoyed
was
it.
my favourite bit.
Well, that guy
Yeah.
was a dick. He did deserve it. But yeah, my favourite bit's the bit in the garden. Well, no, it's the bit in the house where the zombie comes through the door and he's only got one arm, and they start overreacting to it. But yeah,
I think the funny bit is when Nick Frost is like he gets a phone call and then
oh
all
yeah,
the zombies are around him, and I just thought that was just so
yeah. They're
funny.
like at the front of the pub. He's just like, oh, give me a minute.
Alright, what would we give Shaun of the Dead?
4.
I'm gonna go and say 4.
4, definitely.
I'll give it a 3.5. I mean, it wasn't as good because I am a really, really big zombie movie fan because I love horror films. That's like my main
The
genre
complete
to watch.
opposite of me then. My favourite is like superhero and action, I suppose.
Yeah, mine's superhero and horror. And then I did enjoy this movie, but it wasn't as good as some movies because it
Mine
wasn't
is
that serious.
my
which
favourite
made it
genre
fun.
is superhero and animated.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's why I'll give it a 3.
Okay, let's move on.
Alright, let's go on to Funny People.
Haven't seen
The
this
Judd
one.
Apatow.
I've seen a bit of it, but I can't remember much about it.
The Judd Apatow film. Have you seen it, Connor?
I've seen bits of it.
Well, I guess I'm the only one here then. Funny People is so funny. I'm probably the 1 out of the 10 people who actually like it. 4 out of 5. It is so funny. I actually love it, to be honest.
Okay, what's the next film, Joe?
Aliens in the Attic.
Yay! This film is actually really funny. I really like it because aliens are awesome.
I like it, but there's room for improvement. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
I like the like game references for those two like twins or whatever. They like reference Halo and stuff, and
Yeah.
I like that. But
What are you gonna give
I'm gonna
it?
give it a 3.5.
Yep. Connor?
I thought this film was alright, actually. It was actually a fun film to watch, so I'll probably give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay,
This is considered bad as well.
I liked it.
There are so many movies that we like that everybody
The
hates.
only problem, the weird thing is that you know the guy who plays Stu from The Hangover. Yeah, he's in this movie playing a character called Stu.
Okay then.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do. Anyway, let's just get to the next movie.
Yeah, it's considered a bad movie.
I liked it though.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Let's go on to Borat.
Isn't nice.
This is one of the funniest movies of all time.
Yeah.
5 out of 5 stars.
I wouldn't go that far, but I will give it a 4.5 because I actually saw this movie. Wait, how many? I saw this movie 6 years ago. I think. Yeah, 6 years ago. I think like 5 or 6 years ago, and I just laughed my butt off.
This movie is just so funny. It's just so funny. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 because it's not the best film I've ever seen, but the comedy in this movie is just fantastic.
I think it's amazing. 5 out of 5. I love it.
It's a very funny movie.
Alright, let's go on to one of my guilty pleasured, I think, animated features. Horton Hears a Who.
I like this movie. I think it's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie.
It's a colourful adventure from the world of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about this movie. I did enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Wait, people like it. That's good.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 3. It is a fun family movie, especially for kids because it's an animated film. But it's just you knew what sort of what the movie was gonna turn out like.
But it's a kids movie. What do you expect?
Connor, you just said it's good for kids because it's an animated movie. Does that mean when you're older you're gonna let your kids, when they're like 2, watch the South Park movie?
Oh, shut up, woman. Yeah, it's a
Respect my authority.
You better respect my authority, boy.
Okay, just continue.
But yeah, this film it's a good film, but it's typical Dr. Seuss, like all the colourful trees and stuff like that.
What the hell are you doing? Is he crying? Connor, move on, quickly.
Okay, what are we doing?
I think he was laughing. It was feeding. Connor, sacrifice yourself. Anyway.
Oh,
Okay, let's just move on quickly. Joe's freaking the hell out of me.
Oh, the time. Get a feeling. Yeah.
Connor, quickly! You've activated and singing.
Get a feeling.
Ah! Okay. Anyway.
Wicked.
Okay. Let's just continue. Let's just review the next movie. Okay.
Wow. Wicked. Round.
Okay.
one of my Wreck-It Ralph.
There we go. Okay. Remember we said no musical numbers that last any more than 10 seconds. We agreed that. Okay. Anyway, Wreck-It Ralph is an awesome movie. I like all the game references, like they reference Sonic, Mario, Call of Duty, Mario Kart. Just like it.
I think Wreck-It Ralph is one of the best animated films from last year, but it's not as good as my favourite, which was Frankenweenie. So I'm going to give Wreck-It Ralph a 4 out of 5.
Frankenweenie's animation scares me.
It's stop motion. It's a lot more effort than
I've done
computer
Lego
animated.
stop motions, but never mind. I'm gonna give Wreck-It Ralph a 4 because I really enjoyed it. I like the 3D in it as well.
I'm gonna give
Yeah, I haven't seen it in 3D.
I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5. It's the animating in this movie is brilliant. It's just all the story to this movie is just brilliant. It's just an all-around great film.
Alright, let's go on to the Simpsons
The
movie.
Simpsons, a little bit disappointing, but still a pretty decent movie.
It's if you watch it the first time, I was disappointed. But then the second time, it is so much better than the first time.
God.
I love it.
I snapped an elastic band and it flinged me in the leg.
I'm gonna give the Simpsons movie a 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
I didn't really enjoy this movie. It's nowhere near as good as the TV show. I didn't enjoy this movie that much. I'll give it a 2 out.
But the TV show's been lame for 15 years, so whatever. That's what everyone's saying. It's been like lame for 15 years. But anyway,
I love it.
I don't watch it that much.
I love The Simpsons.
Anyway, let's just move on.
It was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Animated Film, but it didn't win.
Let's just move on to the next film, which is Stewie Griffin, The Untold Story.
Yeah, I think this is
It's alright.
a really bad film. It's not as good as a Family Guy show, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5.
It really, really pees me off because it's 3 unseen episodes put together to make one. And watching it the first time, I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. Second time, I still laughed quite a lot, but I was like, I just don't really like it as much as the show.
I haven't seen this movie, so I can't really relate to anything that you guys are talking about. But what Josh has said about it before, he said he didn't really like it that much. So.
Yeah. Let's just move on to the next movie then, shall we? Because
the next film is Fantastic Four.
I didn't really like this much.
I had fun with it.
I don't like any of the Fantastic Four movies.
I liked the first one. I had mindless fun with it. It's what Transformers 2 and 3 should have been. 3 out of 5.
Fantastic Four, 2 out of 5, because I thought it was terrible.
I'm gonna give...
It's not terrible.
All of the films, like, each, I'm gonna give a 1, and then the last one with Silver Surfer, a 1.5. Because I didn't enjoy any of these movies as much.
I thought Silver Surfer was actually decent. I would probably give Silver Surfer 3.5 out of 5.
Silver Surfer, I would give it 3. Pretty decent score.
Yeah, it's better than the first one. It's like a sequel that's better than the first movie. That's really hard to find.
Really.
Anyway, let's go on to Harry and the Order of the
Yay!
Phoenix.
This is like, I only like 3 of the Harry Potter movies. 1, 2, and 5. Number 1 is still my favourite,
Yeah,
but
this is my favorite Harry Potter film. Order of the
Yeah,
Phoenix
same.
is my
Love
favorite
this
Harry
movie.
Potter film. I hated part 2,
I
to be
hated part
honest.
3 and
Um,
4. They just don't deserve to live.
no, Deathly Hallows part 2.
Alright,
That's what I really hated.
definitely Hallows.
Like how they concluded it. But this is so good. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. It's the best Harry Potter
I'm
film.
gonna give this movie a 4,
I
because I really enjoyed it.
I've I've got all of the Harry Potter movies on DVD because I love all the Harry Potter movies. There's none that I didn't like.
Not
So I'm
even
gonna
Goblet
give
of
this
Fire.
movie.
Goblet of
No,
Fire
I
is
like
one of
all.
the best.
Actually, yeah, Goblet of Fire. Just
It's the
really
worst one.
disappointed.
It's
Yeah, I
actually
like-
one of the
No, it
best.
sucks.
Goblet of Fire is
According to
first,
you.
then everything else before and after that is just brilliant. I just farted. But yeah, I just love all the Harry Potter films.
Which one's your favorite?
Probably, yeah, the Goblet of Fire.
Really?
I thought you just said you hated that.
No, oh yeah, I forgot. The Order of the Phoenix. I mean,
All right. What would you give it out of 5? Because that's the one we're reviewing.
a 4.
What? That makes no sense. It's your favorite, and you would give it a 4.
Yeah, but because I like all the films, but like I said in the break, that I wouldn't give every film like a 5. Like they have to be an amazing film for me to give them a 5.
All right, guys. Let's move on to the Bourne
Okay.
Legacy.
The Bourne Legacy I thought was quite good.
It's disappointing.
I actually haven't seen this movie, so I'm just gonna let these guys talk about
It's the
it.
first,
I
it's
thought
the
it
only
was
Bourne movie I've
disappointing.
seen besides, then I've seen Identity, I like Legacy a little bit more.
Legacy is the worst out of the 4. But it's still quite good, to be honest. I'm gonna give
I'm
it
going
a
to give it a 3
3
as well, because I
out
thought
of
it was
5.
better than The Bourne Identity in my opinion, but I just didn't think it was overall a brilliant movie.
Anyway, guys, I've got some news. I'm going to take James's spot for news
Okay,
today.
fair enough.
But Men in Black 4 is
I haven't even
happening.
seen the other 3 yet, so...
Ugh. 21 Jump Street 2 has got its
Yay.
release date for America. It will open June 6, 2014. Iron Man 3 heads for a 170 million weekend in the USA, which is bad because I found Iron Man 3 to be quite
I loved
disappointing. But that's next week's episode. We're going to talk about Iron Man 3. And Iron Man 3 has been getting a week kind of reviews. Here is a review from Joe Morgenstern. The third iteration of a franchise that began so well becomes a hollow hymn to Marshall Graduty, whatever that says. The suits and story clank in unusual, or whatever that word is.
I loved Iron Man 3. I think it is my favourite of the 3. And I don't know why.
I think it's the second best of the 3. Iron Man 2 being the worst, Iron Man 1 being the best. Guys, there was a new trailer for Man of Steel released. It is one of the coolest trailers, I think, to be honest. I'm not very good at this. James is very good at this, but I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, Connor, do you have any news? Because you're free to share any if you want.
Star Trek 3 has been in development.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I think you done this in last podcast, like, where you talked about, Hangover, Kick-Ass 2, and The Hunger Games Catching Fire.
Yeah.
Like, all Catching Fire's release date is November,
November
which is a
22nd. I
really,
remember that because
really...
it's the day after my birthday.
Yeah, I forgot what, Kick-Ass and...
Kick-Ass comes out in August sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I think we are done for this week's podcast. Make sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and make sure to check out Connor's channel, and my channel, and Josh's channel, Flametail23. Make sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. And it was a pleasure having Connor on the show tonight. That's a wrap.